Well, colonization isn't good at all, I don't think. I mean, it did a lot of things like segregation, which is bad. It split up families and that. So we're trying to fight our way back right now to get where it was at one time before, where we were all a community and family together. And it's created a lot of problems since then. So we need to heal from it. So.
Would you contribute to self-governance, opposing to the state running your reserves, or
Well, self-governments is good, and at one time we were self-governments. Like we had a system that was perfect. There was no flaws in it whatsoever. And then somebody got wind of that and stuck their nose in and changed everything all around. So now there's fighting in there now, and they should have left it the way it was before. A good story I learned about is when I was in university. There was a town where the Aboriginals thought of the first corporation. They had a corporation going back in the early day, and it was flawed. They were selling tools and equipment and stuff like that. Government got wind of it, said, we're going to switch all that, and broke it all up and everything. It was the first ever corporation made. So, and that was back in the day. So,
and that impacted greatly on the First Nations.
yeah, it broke them down. They accomplished something, and when you accomplish something, somebody breaks it down. How do you feel afterwards? Well, useless, right? So, and you don't want to do anything more, and you just live in a rut. So,
Uh, Comment on the significance of reserves in Canada, the pros and the cons.
well, never growing up in a reserve, it's kind of hard for me to comment because I just go back and visit my relatives.
Uh, Comment on the significance of reserves in Canada, the pros and the cons.
Well, never growing up in a reserve, it's kind of hard for me to comment because I just go back and visit my relatives. Would I ever live on a reserve? Maybe later on in life. I might get a little house and settle down there. But I've flourished off the reserve. I had to, like, I was put in that system where I had to flourish off the reserve. So pros and cons of reserve, I can't really comment because I've never lived there. So some people will say it's the best thing. Some people will say don't ever go there. But I myself can't really comment on that. So.
You mentioned that you got your status. Can you take us through the process of entire, how did it happen?
Actually, my kids just got their status too.
You mentioned that you got your status. Can you take us through the process of entire, how did it happen?
Actually, my kids just got their status too. All three of them, the baby and the two older ones. Yeah, because I'm status, they qualify for it. One of the big reasons that we did that is because there's a settlement coming to our reserve, and for them to qualify in it, they have to have their status. So they'll get some of that settlement now that they're status. When I first got mine, I grew up not having status. It wasn't until I went to Red River, and they had to find my mom. Or Red River College, sorry, I keep thinking you guys are from Manitoba and you'd know, but I went to Red River College and I had to get my status for the course. And the government, I sent away all the papers and stuff like that, and then eventually it came back, and they said, yeah, it was actually pretty quick, like it just happened like that, which was, I think the school pushed it because they wanted me in the course. So that's why it happened fast. I know people that it takes years for them to get that because there's no connection with their parents, right? So when I got my status, it was quick. It was very quick. And I think the Red River College pushed that because they wanted me in the course. So.
What would you say to
The 60 scoop apology is an apology. I mean, it's nothing, I dinged your car out there. Sorry. What's it going to do? It's not going to fix the car, right? How are you going to deal with it? Well, it's up to you. The apology doesn't do anything to me. I'm still healing. But that's not because of the apology. People go, oh, he said sorry. Well, now I feel good. Do you really feel good? Like, it's up to you how you deal with it. I could live with the apology or I could live without it. I'm healing because of my kids. They're the reason I'm doing this. So, apology is good for people. It's not good for other people. It depends on how you take it. So, all right.
Thank you so much.
Pick up a book, go to the library, go on the internet. Like there's native writers out there They write from the heart. They write about experiences, living on the reserve and what they grew up with. One of my favorite, and unfortunately passed away, is Richard Wagonese. And he's from a reserve here in Ontario. He passed away a couple years ago. He's got awesome writing skills. Look up local authors from Indigenous views, and just get yourself engulfed with that. You have a guy right there that's here at the college. You can peck his head for information. He knows a lot because I was talking to him earlier. So it's not just me, just because I come here and do a talk, I know everything. It's people that are right in front of you too, right? So
Centennial has courses that are offered to us to Junaid courses 250, 251, 252 that does expose us to Indigenous studies, and we are most grateful for that because it does expose us to a lot of inner wranglings of Indigenous, and along with yourself, we're more exposed, we're more enlightened on what happened then and what's happening now.
well, I'm on Facebook, so you guys can follow me there. I'm always commenting on different things, and like I say, I'm still writing a play right now. That's gonna be about my life, but in a perspective of each character is a piece of me, and each of the characters. So you guys can always look forward to that. But